Todd, thank you so much for the introduction, and I'm so honored to be on this call tonight with all of you. Some of you I know well, some of you I have got to know just even over the last couple months and feel so blessed to be partnered with you. And some of you I'm meeting for the first time tonight. So again, it's nice to meet all of you. Um, if I have a talent, I think my talent is appreciating and respecting and listening deeply to all of you, the field. I absolutely love this industry. I started myself, my husband and I started as brand partners in our 20s. We both were graduated from school. I was in high tech for 15 years, but we found this industry, like many of you, for health reasons. I wanted to improve my own health, found out I had an autoimmune disease, and so said yes to the amazing, amazing products in this industry. And we were always part-timers, but went on to earn trips, travel around the world, be able to buy our first house. And what we really fell in love with was the community, the like-minded people who frankly wanted to dream again, wanted to believe there was more, wanted to believe there was a better way, and found this industry and the people in this industry, and we have never looked back. So I joined this industry as an executive about 15 years ago, and I've had the privilege and the honor to work to help two companies hit $1 billion, to be a CEO at another company. And but I can tell you, one of my favorite days was the day that our CMO, Mark Patterson, who I knew very well, who is one of the very best in the industry, that John and Darren hired. But he called me. He's a dear friend, and he's like, Katy, I know you. I know you're purpose driven. I know your mindset. You have to meet our founders. They're unbelievable. And I respect Mark so much. The timing wasn't right for me. Like it might, we all know time, it's all about timing, right? So, but anyway, there was a moment when the timing was right. And I had the honor of meeting John and Darren. And again, spending those 2 hours together, they're similar to what Todd said, their capacity, their commitments of building a company. It was probably one of the first things they said to me is they said, Katy, we are not looking to build a company for the next 2 years, 5 years and sell it. We've both made our money. What we're looking to do is build a legacy company, one of the very, very best in the industry, multi-billion dollars. And what we're looking for is to find the very best executives and management team, as well as the very, very best of leaders and field members that can come and we can collaborate and build this company together. And it gave me the chills. Like it gives me the chills every time I say that, because by the way, I'm driven for excellence myself. I'm very driven to do something amazing with my own life, with my family's life, with the community I surround myself. And when I find like-minded people who are super capable and talented, I'm like, okay, let's go do something amazing together. And so then we sat there for 2 more hours and they started telling me who they were and what they wanted to do and what they were willing to do. And I think before I introduce them and have them speak, what I would say is I've now had the honor of being here for a year and a half. I can't believe we went into momentum our second year in business. Like, again, when John told me that we had some amazing leaders and he started telling me who was coming to Partner Co., I was like, there's no way. I'm sorry. We are not going into momentum year two. Like, that is just not happening, John. We have work to do. We got to come on. We got to buckle up. And then, you guys, since I've been here, the fact that North America market did triple digit growth last year, both the US and Canada. The rest of the company is in the high double digit growth. The way we are leading out across this industry is just unheard of. But it's not rocket science, by the way, and it's not some mystery. It truly is because of the principles we apply every single day. And working aside Darren and John is because they're committed. They're committed to taking action and performing with excellence every single day. And I watch it. I watch it myself in the decisions they make repeatedly. And I guess for me, that's probably the best part of being a part of Partner Co. is they're delivering on their promise. So with that, I would love to have you hear from them directly because it's just an honor to be part of what we are creating over the next 50 years. So um, let me go. Who wants to go first? I'm not sure. Darren, is that you? Would you like to go
Sure.
first?
Yeah, I can go. So, I was trying to think about what would be interesting to this group. And I just kind of want to talk a little bit about what I think makes us unique. We have great products, unquestionably. In my opinion, the best. But look, there's other companies that have great products. I acknowledge that. You probably have products at companies that you've worked with that you love. We have an amazing comp plan. We were voted number one comp plan. You can make money with a lot of different comp plans. When I think about what really sets us apart, John and I, when we launched Partner Co, it really is this long-term vision that we have. I mean, John, 25 years with the same company, selling similar products. What that allowed him to do and to achieve is not common in this industry. Every year he built and built and built. He never had to go start over again anywhere else. He just built and built and built. And because of that, the level of success he was able to achieve is extraordinary. Me, look, I came from a traditional background. Wharton, master's in business, went to work on Wall Street, Goldman Sachs. Built a big, after I left Wall Street, I started a seafood company, sushi quality tuna. Built a huge company. We were selling 3.5 million pounds a month of tuna. Amazing experience doing that. I've built big businesses. I know what it takes. We were in countries all around the world. We had factories in 13 different countries. I know what it takes. When you take John's experience as a distributor, 25 years with the same company, knowing what every one of you go through every day because he has lived it. He knows what you need, what tools help, what you need from your corporate partner. You combine that with me, who's run big companies, who's built big companies, who knows what it takes to build a big international company. And then you add on top of this vision that both of us have. John, I mean, it really comes from starting with John, but also, I mean, like Todd said, I came out of retirement. I'd sold my company. I came out of retirement to do this. I didn't come out of retirement to build a mediocre company. I want to build a company that at the end of my life, I can look back and be so happy, so proud of what I've been part of. And I want the same for every one of you. At the end of all of our lives, we want to look back and say we were part of this incredible company, this movement, this experience. We helped so many people change their lives. We helped them with their health. We helped them with their finances, help them feel part of a community. That is really what brought me out of retirement to do this. So there are other people I know that talk about a long-term vision. They're not talking like we are. John and I, we literally talk about 50 years, 100 years. When we're in our executive meetings, of course, we're talking about what are we doing this year? What are we doing next year? 5 years, 10 years. But we start talking about what does this mean to us to have a 50-year company or a 100-year company? When we were creating this vision and making plans for this long-term future, we knew that we had to have a very stable foundation on which to build. And one of the first things we did was we created this core set of values that we live by. If if Todd hasn't shared those with you, I'm sure he will. But having values, moral values, an ethical guide to how you should act every day, how John and I are going to act every day, that then filters down through all of our employees and that also filters down through all of our brand partners. That is a solid foundation on which to build a long-term company. Even our employees, it's part of their employee performance review process every year. How well do you live our core values? That is part of how they are reviewed. It goes into their compensation, into any potential bonus that they receive. How well do you live those values? When you have this core set of values, you're building a long-term company, you think very differently about decisions that you're going to make. Like Todd was saying, like Katy was saying, the next thing we need to do is we knew that we needed the very best team we could find. So we went out and we interviewed people, not just in network marketing, outside of network marketing, to find the very best person for that executive role, no matter where we found them, because we knew that it would take the very best team to be able to execute this long-term strategy of building a company. All of these things, the core values, the executive team, this long-term view, it really led to a culture that we have of PartnerCo with our brand partner leaders, our distributor leaders, working together and sharing what works, helping each other succeed. It's the most incredible thing. Last year, we had a kind of our big exclusive trip was to Tahiti. And I remember being in a room with all of our top leaders from around the world, and they were all sharing about what is working for them in their businesses with their team. And I remember thinking, in any other organization I've been in, with the top salespeople of a company, nobody's sharing. Nobody's talking about what works for them. Nobody's trying to lift and build all the other leaders. So this is something also I feel it's really unique about PartnerCo is this culture that we have of really working together. And it's because, I mean, one of our core values is true partnership. I mean, it's the name of our company. The corporate, us being your partner, giving you what you need, tools, resources, products, everything you need to build your businesses, and you being a good partner back by fulfilling your responsibilities. That culture permeates also into our brand partner leadership, with them partnering with each other and really working together. So those are some of the things that I think really set us apart. Happy to answer any questions or talk about any issues, Todd or Shorty, things that you have questions about or want
Yeah,
to
so
bring up.
Shorty, this was originally kind of set up for you. So do you want to lead up the questions, ask him anything, or John, do you want to go ahead and talk first?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead, John.
Hey, I see so many people that I love on this call. It's so fun to get together tonight. That's the coolest part about this industry is we get to spend time with people that we love, people that are like-minded. My journey started early. I was 25. I was a college student, was a science major in school. So I loved products and I loved to get into the science. And I didn't really have a true understanding of the profession of network marketing because all of my experience with it started from inside the product lab. I loved the products. I loved sharing the products. I loved teaching people about the products, but I was still a college student. I could live on almost nothing. Hadn't really spent a lot of time thinking about the future and what my dreams were, other than doing well in school because I knew that would open a lot of doors. But I participated in an event. And this is often, I hear this story all the time. People go through that click experience during an event when they're listening to other people's stories of success, stories of traveling the world and meeting people all over that help to lift their own vision of their own lives. And that same thing happened to me. So I'm sitting in an event, somebody like Todd Rowland gets up, starts talking about his lifestyle and how much he gets to help people and what it does for him and his family. And I realized the possibility of the profession. And I made a big decision. It was a huge leap of faith, probably similar to something that everyone on this call has experienced. That the moment when they decided to jump into this profession, it takes a bit of a leap of faith to jump in and go all in. And I did that. It wasn't the most opportune time to do it. I'd just been accepted to the graduate school of my choice. I'd worked my entire school career to get accepted. And here I was taking an alternate path. And that's the best decision I ever made in my life. I've got 4 children now. I'm happily married for 24 years. I've been able to live the dream life of a network marketing professional. I started in Japan. It was grueling for the first 4 months. You don't know what you're doing. You got so much ambition inside, but you just don't know how to build a team. You're not good at presenting. You're nervous talking to people. And yet your dream and your ambition helps you overcome all of that through practice. And I had my own journey to overcome that. I went 4 months contacting every single day and didn't get a single yes. But I'd go home at night and I'd practice in front of a camera, and I was determined to get good at the basic skills that someday would allow me to be a leader. And because I was persistent, it worked. I heard someone yesterday say, network marketing works for 100% of the people who don't quit. And I firmly believe that. I didn't quit. And 4 months in, I meet an experienced leader. I introduce him to the opportunity. He actually becomes a bit of a mentor. And quickly I'm able to launch into this leadership role because we started expanding so fast. And that right there was the kickoff to a 25-year career opening markets around the world. I worked in over 30 countries. The team did over 3 billion in sales. So you can imagine over that 25-year period, how many experiences I got to have, how many cool people I got to meet. Every time I meet a new person, I'm just filled with curiosity, because every person, you get to kind of enter into this new world and their experiences become your experiences. In this profession, you get to spend time with people who study mindset every single day. That's not only important for us, but I'm in the middle of raising 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls. And if I can influence their mindset at a young age, they're going to launch their lives as adults and starting their own families with a beautiful mindset stance that really, I don't think any other profession gives you that level of exposure to people who are doing their absolute best to train their minds and their hearts and take care of their health. I've always been health conscious. My dream job would be to get paid to take care of my own body and help other people do the same. There's no asset that we have that's more valuable than this body. We only get one. No better investment. I saw that our values were dropped into the chat. We did a couple Discover Partner Co events in Utah, and we introduced 2 new values to what already was extraordinary values. Because Darren and I, like he said, with our long-term vision, we knew that we had to build it on a foundation of rock solid values that would stand the test of time. But as we met together as an executive team, we just couldn't help ourselves, and we added 2 more values. And one of those is, there's no better investment than your health. And that's what Partner Co offers to the world. We're spreading health and prosperity around the world by helping people become super health conscious, and also giving them an opportunity to join a community where everyone lives and loves each other. You get to see the world, you get to spend time with like-minded leaders, and that trickles down into your family, it trickles down into your life experiences, and it brings that prosperity that we're so dedicated to offering to everyone around the world. Now, Darren touched on some of the unique aspects of Partner Co that set us apart in an industry that I believe has perfect ideals, but there's very few companies that actually are able to deliver on those ideals. I'm so proud to be a part of Partner Co because we are delivering on those ideas and those ideals. When you join Partner Co, you step into a global community. Brand new story, right? If you're going to do this as a business, you want to join a story that's fresh. You want to join a company that is just getting started because it has that excitement, that youthful excitement that makes it so easy to talk to other people. And that's what Partner Co has. But not only that, unlike other companies that are just getting started, Partner Co has licenses all over the world. We have a global infrastructure. We have time-tested products that are science-backed, that have stood the test of time, a beautiful portfolio that addresses all of the important health needs that people have in the world today, and a comp plan that's also stood the test of time, that's fair and balanced. If you're a really smart leader in this industry, the first thing that you check is, how's the new person doing? If you want to check the health of a company and forecast where it's going to go, You go step into the shoes of a brand new person and you see what that experience is. Because if a new person can succeed quickly, at PartnerCo, we set the bar really high. We want people to make $500 in their first 2 weeks, and they're doing it. Why? Because we have brilliant leaders in the field who develop field-led systems of growth that we at corporate fully support. We support it with beautiful marketing, with IT and websites that constantly are improving, with products and product development, with scientists and research and events and everything that you need to build an extraordinary business just by sharing your passion with others. That's what sets PartnerCo apart, because we are achieving those ideals, a rock solid, economically sound, profitable from day one company that has been able to attract leaders all over the world. And most importantly, as I mentioned, a field-led system of growth that allows the new person to succeed fast. When that new person succeeds fast, then they have the ambition to sit through all of the leadership training and learn all of the mindset and become a student of leadership. It's a brilliant process that Todd Rowland and several of the other leaders on this call have perfected in the field. We're in true partnership, and we're just getting started. That's what I love about this profession, and that's why I'm so proud to partner with everyone on this call as PartnerCo, as we blast forward into the future.
So, Shorty, Carmen, like some of you guys that I initially put this call together for, do y'all have questions you want to ask? So Betty Ann's in 14 different companies. We're trying to get her focused here because I know what she can do when she focuses. So Betty Ann, if you've got a question, fire away. And then we also have, Katie, if you want to speak to, we have probably a dozen people on from Australia tonight.
Wow.
Some already in and some really big leaders looking to join. So maybe one thing that I would like for you to cover for all of them, and you've said it in a long way, but like if you're evaluating us compared to all the other things they might be evaluating, why PartnerCo? I mean, I know it's the unicorn, but like, how do you really get that across? Like, I think you can only hear the heart's owner to really figure out if this is somebody you can follow or not.
Todd, do you want John to speak to that one?
John, Darren,
Oh, yeah.
all the
Go ahead.
above.
John, go ahead.
Hey, I too have been in the industry for a long time, so I've seen. It would not be an exaggeration to say that I've seen 100+ companies, and I've dissected them and looked at them and watched their growth and watched their demise. I mean, there are very, very, very few companies in this industry that are built with a long-term mindset that have all of the pieces. If you're brand new, you want to step in, you want a system of growth that allows you to succeed fast, you want training, you want leadership, you want incentive trips, you want events that inspire, where that you're proud to bring people to, and you want a pathway, a very clear, easy to follow pathway that allows you to achieve within the profession of network marketing, within the company, where you have clear milestones that you can achieve, and you want your help. You want a company that's based on real science, that has real values that help you not only benefit yourself, but benefit others. You want a rock solid company that's well managed, preferably by someone that has a tremendous amount of business experience, like this guy named Darren Zobrist. And you want an executive team that's there for you at every turn. Todd mentioned this, Darren mentioned this, Katy talked about the people that she gets to work with. We have the absolute best executive team in the industry. Look at our website, look at our chief marketing officer, look at Katy Holt-Larsen, look at our ops, look at everything that we do on the logistics side. Look at the travel incentive trips. We're about to leave on one soon here at Punta Cana. We just had an intro call for the 150+ people that will be joining us on this incentive trip that's not only in a beautiful location, but these turn into mastermind sessions. Darren talked about the collaboration at the leadership level here that's extraordinary. It's a cultural attribute that you don't see at other companies that's special to PartnerCo. But that's what will happen in Punta Cana. We'll sit around late at night in this beautiful location, probably on the beach, looking up at the stars, and talk about what's working And everyone there will be inspired and they'll be so excited to go home and go back to work because now they've got these great ideas about how to magnify their own business.
We talk about better together, right? Better together is a phrase that we use a lot. Better together is not just that we're better together with you, you're better together with us. It's that you're all better together with each other too. It's this kind of mentality that we all work together as partners and everybody grows. We all benefit from that. And it's a very unique thing, not only in our industry, in any industry, with any company among top high performing leaders. That's very unique. And when I look at, I mean, John and I, look, we were best friends before we were business partners. We have spent a tremendous amount of time together serving in our church, in our community, long before we ever did this. And it was just the greatest pleasure to be able to go into business with your best friend. What we have, though, is unique. Our partnership, it doesn't exist where you have somebody with John's experience as a brand partner and my experience running business with Wall Street, seafood company, having built large companies as partners running this company.
I
Like,
know. I
it
tell
is
people,
unique.
like, this may never happen again in the history of the
Never.
universe because it's not only that special partnership, but you have a brand new story that already has infrastructure in 50 countries that's rock solid financially and has a product strategy that allows new people to come in and make money so quickly. We have people looking at us all the time. So we spend time kind of running simulations. These are people that have existing businesses with other companies, and we'll run a quick simulation. Okay, if you take that volume that you produced in that company and you port it, you run it through the PartnerCo system, look how much more money you're going to make and how much more stable it is. So our comp plan is extraordinary because people make more money here. They make money faster. And that's why we have, did you know that in the United States right now, and probably North America, we're the fastest growing product-based network marketing company, number one right now. And we've taken the high road because that's all organic growth. We don't do special deals. We don't buy leaders. I mean, this is all organic growth. If you want to find a company that's stable, that you can put your life into, that you can feel confident it's going to last, you need to look for a company that has that. And today, I don't know if there's another company that has that. So we're so proud to be here. And we're so proud to work with all of you. So excited for the future. We've got this, like everything just keeps getting better. Todd mentioned it. We've got a special announcement at Punta Cana when we go there very shortly that will show our dedication to investing heavily in product strategy and science and the ability to persuade people to take care of their health. It's a major announcement that we'll hold back when we get there.
Yeah, we take very seriously our side of the partnership. And we do. We invest heavily in, I mean, first of all, in our executive team. When you get on our website, look at every one of our executives, we've invested heavily and we love our executive team. They are incredible. This is the best executive team that I've ever worked with in my life. And like every day, I'm excited to be able to work with them. We invest heavily in products, in our product development efforts, in science and studies, and we invest in marketing, website, IT, back office. All, if you went and listed all the things that you need to be successful in your business, I promise you, we are investing heavily in every single one of those areas because we want to be the best partner that you've ever had in your life. We will be.
Maybe I can just throw one more thing on, Todd, which is I love that our first value is true partnership and better together. because we're collaborative and we work together. But what I love equally is that we are a high performance culture. We attract the most amazing leaders who want to get to the very, very top. But so what's amazing is we have this collaborative culture that we're all driven to win. We're not fighting against each other. It's amazing when you're synergistic and you're all driven to win together. I've never experienced anything like it. We can get further together because we're all working on that. It's actually so much fun. It's so much fun to work with like-minded people who are crushing their opportunities, who are bringing the most talented people here. If you are driven for excellence, I'm going to tell you, like, this is a wild ride that you don't want to miss.
So we'll just end. Shorty, any of you guys that we set this up for, do y'all want to ask any specific questions? And I'm sure everybody would appreciate anything you ask.
I'll
Gianni?
go. It's
Go ahead,
Shorty
Shorty.
here. Hey, I just wanted to thank John and Darren and Katy for coming on, and especially in the evening, sparing your time for us. That means a lot. I guess my first question is, are you looking at acquiring more companies, and are there other arenas you're looking at besides health and wellness that might shock some of us? If you could maybe allude to that a little bit, if you're thinking that way at all.
I'm happy to start with that one. We're a health and wellness company. We're not looking outside of health and wellness. Like it's who we are. It's what we're good at. That's what our focus is.
But Darren, you would, but skincare would fit under that umbrella at some
Yeah,
point.
that's
Oh, yeah.
your largest organ. So yes, yes. But as far as acquiring other companies, it's not really a focus of ours. Things come up from time to time, and we have looked at a couple of them. For us, it's really important to maintain our culture and the kind of the true partnership value that we have in our values. It's hard to find another company that follows those same values. So it's not like if we came across a company that wanted to join with us, that had similar values, that had a product line that matched, compensation plan that would be easy to integrate, we would be open to that. It's just not like part of our strategy that we are leading with. John, anything to add to that?
No, that was perfect.
Right on. Thank you. My next question is, where do you see the company itself in a year from now and 5 years? And why is the timing so special right now?
We love growing. We love the fact that we're organically growing right now. We anticipate growing consistently forever. 1 year from now, we think that we'll be much larger than we are today, with more leaders, particularly in the US and Canada right now. There are leaders all over looking for a solid home. There's a lot of turmoil out there in the world in general and in this industry. And we believe that we can be a lifeboat. We can be that solid, steady, consistently growing home that those leaders can take all the skills that they've developed through practice over the years and put them here and feel safe and be able to actually succeed. 5 years from now, I think we'll be triple. And I think Todd set the bar really high. He said a $10 billion company, maybe the only one in the industry that's able to consistently do that over time because of the rock solid financials and the rock solid values and everything that we put so much time and effort and resources into to ensure that people who partner with us win.
John, what's also fun, I mean, for me, I think it's just all of the technology we are looking at, how we incorporate AI into every part of our business, whether it's data analysis, forecasting, sales tools, customer support. We're constantly evaluating new tools for our sales field, digital ways that we can help you be more intelligent about your own businesses and grow your businesses more rapidly. And so I would say innovation is at the core of everything we do at the corporate office. we're consistently trying new products. In fact, we tried one at our Discover Partner Code, I think 3 days ago. So innovation, we're driven for innovation and excellence. So those two things together. So what's nice about that is you have a nice balance between risk and security, right, Darren? So like we're continually pushing ourselves to be innovate, but at the same time, we have a very strong rudder that keeps us stable and driving forward. So
I would
Well,
say at the end of the day, the company must be profitable because that's how we are able to invest in marketing, in products, in the best executive team. So it requires financial discipline.
I'll be home in a minute.
So financial discipline is really key to our long-term success, and we will maintain that. We love that on our executive team, we have so many of us that really feel strongly about that financial discipline. One other thing, Shorty, along the lines of acquisitions, our capital structure. Look, we're privately owned. John and I control the
our own
company.
money, you know, so it's
And
not
we've
like
got
someone else is telling us what to do. There's no short-term pressure. You look at all these companies that are owned by public or
private equity
or these funds, and they don't get to make their own decisions because the guys that look at nothing but the financials make rash decisions that then ripple out and affect everyone out in the field. That's not here. You know, we don't have those kind of pressures. We get to make long-term decisions that help everyone.
When I worked on Wall Street, I worked for Goldman Sachs, #1 firm on Wall Street. I actually started with them when they were a partnership. They were a private company partnership. And I saw them make investments. I saw them investing in some places for years. They invested in China for like 20 years, 30 years before they even made a single penny of revenue. And it ended up being one of their largest markets in the future. You can do that as a private company when you are owned among partners who are involved in the business. Like you can make those kinds of decisions. And then I saw Goldman Sachs go public. And what happened? I saw them switch overnight from this long-term view to managing their business quarter by quarter. And you cannot make long-term decisions. And when you're managing quarter by quarter, it just is impossible. So thankfully, we are private. John and I make the decisions, and we have this long-term view and are building for the long term. And you will see that in the way that we run the company and in the decisions that we make.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And Marlene, do you have a question? I see your hand up.
There we go. Sorry. I just wanted a quick update, if you guys don't mind, of we kind of got notification or that there would be possibility of some production in Canada as well with some of the products. Is that, is there any updates that can be shared? I think there's quite a few of us Canadians on this call.
I can
Thank you.
talk to that. Sorry, I was a little bit late, but better late than never. Hi, everybody. For the new people, I'm Lucy West. I'm the VP of Canada. So we're looking. So we have not found yet particularly where we've got a couple of products that we'd like to manufacture in Canada. At the moment, our newest product that we're bringing in, which will be the day and night drops, they're coming in from Europe. So those are scheduled to arrive. It takes us about a year to put together a product and produce that product. It's not something that's quick, but it is something that we would like to do, and not only manufacture in Canada, but perhaps be able to support some of the products that we export to Australia and other countries as well. So we've got a long-term plan here. We're 2 years old, and I just got off another call earlier. It was actually, we were interviewing somebody for a possible job in one of the other countries. And it always goes back to, even though, you know, some of the companies have been around longer, it's only 2 years old. And like John and Darren says, the first thing they did was clean up all the countries and clean up all the debt and pass a global audit. Because now we got a base that we can build on, and that's the exciting part. And so we do get excited and sometimes talk about the things that we're going to do. We will get there. but it's not immediate. But we have a lot of really good things planned for Canada. And I don't know, I was late, so did we already talk about the Calgary Connect or not?
Not yet.
Oh, so we have our first big Connect meeting in Calgary, because as all you Canadians know, everything goes through Calgary. You can actually get there and get out on the same day up in Canada. So we have the BMO booked, and we're having a big meeting there, and it'll be May. There's an opportunity presentation for new teams in Calgary on the 29th, and then the 30th and the 31st, we're bringing up our Dr. Strand. We're bringing in our wellness expert, Barbara Cox-Lovesy. John will be there himself. I don't know how you can miss out on this, Darren. You're going to have severe FOMO. And Katy will be up there as well. And as many of Todd and Ashley will be there, and many of our top power rankers are coming, but it's going to be a Canadian production. So I'm going to make darn sure that, people can feel the power of what Canada is capable of doing. So I'm really excited about that. So that's what we're working on, right? That will be made in Canada.
And Lucy, we have quite a few leaders here from Australia. You want to speak to Australia at all?
I was just on with Australia. I love Australia. And I think, John Wadsworth, you lived in Australia, right?
My oldest son was born there. I love Australia. I love New Zealand.
And he's an avid windsurfer, or kite surfer, kite surfer, which is over on the Gold Coast. But what we just had a Connect event on the Gold Coast in Australia, and we have teams, and we just introduced a slightly different version of the day and night drops, because every country, it's a little bit different ingredients that we can use. So they have what we call these snap drops. They're now on the ground in Australia. And so people are now building, they're able to share the system of growth that's working so well in the United States, Europe, and in Canada. And again, it's every 3 or 4 months, we plan to introduce another product, either through NFR or on the ground. And they have some strong leadership, which is helpful, because here at PartnerCo, they work together as teams. It's really interesting. I've been in the industry 38 years, and I really haven't seen this in the other 3 companies that I worked with. Teams just working together, right, Todd? I mean, Todd does a call every morning with another top power ranker, Brent Palmer, and they're in completely different teams, but they just work together. And I don't know, John and Darren, maybe you started it with the better together, but your leadership is in it.
Everybody wins.
It's amazing.
I mean, that's one of the best parts about this profession, this industry, is if we all win together or it doesn't work. And so it's a beautiful ecosystem.
Yeah. We just heading in the same direction, and it just makes us stronger as a company. And for all of the Canadians that are on, and the Australians too, we're still new. So we're still open for listening to new ideas, things that worked in previous companies that you were with. We don't know everything, but we are smart enough to know that if you bring something to us and it works, we can't wait to try and implement it and make it work, because it'll make everybody successful.
Then one other person, Dan, we do have some serious leaders here from the United States too. So Dan is our United States General Manager. We don't want to leave you out.
Dan's in a meeting in New York. Is Dan even on?
He's here, but he
was
is
on.
muted. He is muted.
He's multitasking.
Yes.
That's pretty good for a guy.
He's in an event right now, but let's see if he.
But Chris and Joni, Deborah, anything y'all want to add or ask? A lot of these leaders, Chris and Joni, obviously are on y'all's team, scattered throughout the world. Eric Larsen's a huge leader from my past history that just joined us about a week ago. He's a world evangelist. He's in Portland, Oregon. He's with us tonight. And the Caldwells, Dr. Caldwell out of Asheville, North Carolina, they just joined Susan Frank's team, but they were massive leaders many years ago. They've been in network marketing for 40 years. They're unbelievable. But anything y'all want to ask, fire away. We got them like 5 more minutes. And don't be shy. So Betty Ann, this means you're shutting down all of this other stuff you're selling, and you're selling only Skinny Drop starting tomorrow if you have no questions. She's our top seller on here tonight. She's the next Susan Cameron if we can get her focused.
Focus.
Focus, focus.
I've got another question, if I may ask. What 3 products do you guys wish that everyone was on?
That's such a great question. Wow. I mean, Darren and I, we take them all. So if you watch what we take every day, you would applaud, but also be very impressed.
Yeah, if you have a minute, take a look at my Instagram from a couple of weeks ago, and you'll see my fistful of, there were over 20 supplements that I took in one shot. That's how I take them.
I think if there were 3 though, I'd do the noni,
Mhm.
I do the drops, and I do renew.
No.
When
Yeah.
I travel, I can't, the noni's kind of weighs a lot. I can take the packages, but that renew goes everywhere with me. And so does the advantage. That's 4. But
Mhm.
I also do the calcium and omega and everything else that they have. But those are my
And
top.
John, you've been on Tahitian Noni for 26,
27 years. Yeah.
27 years.
It helps. I mean, it's
does.
seriously,
Phenomenal.
yeah, it's so good. The products that we take make such a difference in people's lives.
Did they hear about the quality control because we invest a lot in R&D, probably more,
So
maybe 80% of the companies out there.
yeah, we do. My background, like I was saying, I was in seafood, sushi grade tuna. Sushi grade tuna is the most risky product that exists. The reason why is because there's no step where you kill the bacteria. Like most fish, right? You're going to cook it and it kills any potential bacteria. We don't have that. So the quality control that you have to maintain on sushi grade tuna, there's nothing like it in the world. So that's the background that I come from, is heavy, heavy, heavy quality control. So of course we apply that at PartnerCo. I mean, in my mind, there's no other way. Either you're going to make it right and make sure it's made to the very highest standards, or it's not worth making. We spend millions of dollars every year on quality control, on QC, on testing. We do independent testing, in-house testing of every ingredient, every product. We're testing efficacy. We just spend millions of dollars on this. I feel confident in saying that we test more than any other supplement company out there. Like, I just haven't even heard of anybody testing like we do.
And Darren, I got to interject one thing. When I really realized you were built different is when you first came here, you hired 2 analysts with MIT degrees to do nothing but cover logistics. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I actually couldn't. So sushi grade tuna, you can imagine the logistics involved in that. We were coming from little, it's even worse than you can imagine, because we really focused on sustainably caught tuna. So that is 2 guys in a little boat hand line catching tuna. Okay. So little fishing communities all over the world, tens of thousands of fishermen catching tuna. And then every day it goes from their boats. We have to get it to our processing plants. We have to then process it in the processing plants, and we have to get in containers, and we have to ship it. Then we have to get it in the United States and Canada and in the Caribbean. And then we have to get it out all up to the restaurants, and all before there's any spoilage. Okay. Logistics, that business was all about logistics. Well, at PartnerCo, we tried to find, John and I started interviewing chief operating officers within the industry, and we couldn't find any that met our exacting standards. We feel like in operations and supply chain, perfection is the goal. Like, you should be striving for perfection, and anything less than perfection is a failure. We couldn't find anybody who had that same attitude, who shared that same belief in operations. Most people in network marketing kind of felt like, oh, this is just network marketing. It's good enough. Stock outs every now and then, no problem. I just couldn't find it. So we had to go outside of our industry to find our COO and one of our supply chain managers who's managing our Tahitian noni side of the supply chain. And they are phenomenal, but we had to go outside of our industry to find the very best. And it was much easier to teach them our industry, coming with that attitude of quality control and logistics and supply chain, than the other way around.
And then one last thing, Taylor, if you don't mind, say hello, because Taylor is the most important person on the call tonight. He fixes all of our escalated problems. Let everybody know what your face actually looks like, Taylor.
Hi, everyone.
Thanks, Taylor. We all love you out here. He is amazing. And then as we end, the top 3 power anchors in the world are here tonight. So you got Susan Cameron, Susan Frank, and Christian Johnny Budd. Anything that y'all want to add in or ask for your leaders that are here tonight? And Christy Walsh, I haven't called your name, but you're Miss Canada. We all know that. So anything you want to ask to Christy?
Love to hear from Christy too.
Go ahead, Chris. He's got some of that good Costa Rica Wi-Fi going on right now. We all want to be Chris and Joni. We all want to make $50,000 a month sitting by the pool, so it's drinking our pineapple juice.
I think just that we're all here to support the teams. We all understand what stage we're in, and that it's like really exciting when new people join us, and but when they have the same vision and everybody has the same vision. I think besides it, or it could be the AM and PM drop, but anyway, people seem extraordinarily happy. So your new people get in, your new people make money. They can make money right away. And I think that that's a surprise for a lot of people. And, you know, from just we had a call earlier this evening because a lot of people have earned an incentive trip going to Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. And as we're watching the chat, we're looking at all these people who've never won an incentive trip before. And how many of you have heard of people who've been in companies have really never made a paycheck? But they can do that. They can do that with PartnerCo. And it's not only that, it's really easy for you to show people how to do that. And so we have a system, and that there's no secret that systems are successful. And that's what it took them a lot of years, but like anyone can do it. I was going to say, right, Carmen? But it's what makes it work. And we're working on making it possible in all countries around the world. So Canada, your time's coming as we get our drops in there from Europe. Australia already has them, and other countries as well. They're in Japan, they're in China, they're in Europe, they're in Latin America. And so wherever you decide to build, hopefully you'll be able to use a similar system. And so that will make it easier for you to develop a team and grow. And then bottom line is, we have John and Darren and Katy, we have people all over the world who are just wonderful at just wanting to help. So if you need someone to help you in another country, we can find that person.
Can I ask one more question?
Sure.
Your call, Shorty. You put everybody's here because of you.
Well, no pressure. Thank you for that. My question is, what can we do in the field for PartnerCo to make it better, which in turn will make us better?
Love that question first. It shows that you have a true win-win mentality, which is beautiful. I mean, that's PartnerCo culture right there. We've already showered tons of praise on everyone because you are PartnerCo. Like that culture, that community that we're talking about, it's embodied in you. And you've done such a wonderful, you've created such a wonderful community that we admire, Darren and I do. And so keep doing that as number one. And number two, Todd's a football coach. He knows when there's an open lane and it's time to sprint. He knows when to run, and that's why he's not sleeping and he's running. And that's the case with everyone. This is the time to run. This is the time to sprint. There is so much potential right now. The timing is absolutely perfect. Don't sleep and just build your team as fast as you can, because everything is lined up perfectly right now for PartnerCo and your business.
So I'll say one thing as well. We love to hear from you. What's working, what's not working, what we could do better, how we can support you better. We love to be your partner. And so when you have the opportunity, share with us what's working, what's not, and how we can help, what tools would help you grow faster, sprint faster, do more. We're fully here to support you.